It's been quite a while since I've done a video, so I'm not dead. A few things have changed. I've got hair. That's a big change. But nothing else really. I'm still the same old me. I got a message from the Christmas fairy. Apparently, some guy in Australia was his Christmas wish was that I made a video. So there you go. There is such thing as the Christmas fairy. Hope you're alright there, Beckus. Anyway, what's been going on? Mainly I've been working. I think the last thing I said was in July that I had a brief interlude. I had to go and do some training, and basically since then it's been non-stop. Just recently, until Christmas, I was working five nights a week for 12 hours, which is 60 hours nights, which doesn't have to take it out of you, but that's done with now. And hopefully, I won't be doing that again till November next year, but I am going to be moving to a new place in the middle of the year, so that might take a bit of time up. But anyway, between that now and then, I've got my Fridays back, so hopefully I'll be able to get some stuff done. Anyway, so what are we going to do then? Well, obviously, the last thing I was doing was the Austrian project on the Warboss Tay painting challenge. Well, I aim to get all that completed, mainly because I'm going down to see Mr. Super Chippy, and I want to make sure that I've got something to take with me, so I don't have to borrow his miniatures again. So that's one objective. The second thing is that, as I said to Ian Diomede F16 a few months ago, my aim was to get Command and Colours Napoleonics, which I did for Christmas. I got the core rules and expansion 1, so basically most of the Peninsula stuff. My aim for that is to obviously use the blocks for now, but I want to get all the miniatures. I want to get miniatures for it. So to that end, I've recently ordered since Christmas the enough figures to do the Portuguese army, which is the smallest army of the three in the first in the core game. The others being the British and the French. I mean, I've got some French and Brits in 15mm, so I'll see what I've got there, and I can reconfigure them and then see what else I need. And then in expansion 1 is the Spanish, so that it's all 15mm, by the way. So I've spent my time since Christmas working out what figures I'm going to need, a basing style, so I want to be able to use them both on the original hexes and on my new hexes that I'm going to make. More about that in a sec. And a way of using them so you can use them as if they were the blocks, so you can sort of take off or add on, because I know later in the game, for example, when the Russians play, there's a rule whereby the Russian contingent doesn't have its full unit strength at the beginning of the turn or the beginning of the game, so you have to sort of be able to manipulate the numbers of figures on a base. So I've worked out how I'm going to do that, so we'll go through all that when I start doing it. The other thing I've just mentioned is the terrain. Well, with the terrain, obviously I'm going to use something called the the Hex Terrain Toolkit, which I've recently purchased, and it's here. So video on this coming up. I've already started filming that video, so I'll be using that to make the terrain boards. So the 15mm will fit in that, and it looks quite nice in my head. I think it's going to work out quite well. Obviously I'll need to build a new board container to contain all the hexes and stuff, and I want to make it so as I can either use it for the small single board game or a double board game. But anyway, all that's in the future. 2018 is a big year, but those are my main projects for the year. It's going to be mainly focused on Command and Colours, and finishing these Austrians off and getting the Austrian 7 Years' War 15mm sorted, because hopefully I've got a game in February with Mr. Super Chippy and some of his friends. Hopefully I'll be able to have another game later in the year, but that's that. So obviously I want to expand the Austrians. And the other thing as well is one of the reasons I want to do the commands and called. I'm going to be doing ancients as well because Trevor Maverick, he sent me a load of Zeiston Greeks, which is one of the reasons why I'm desperate to get hold of expansion 1 for Command and Conquer Ancients. But as I said on my blog, it's like rocking horse shit getting hold of this because it's out of print. I'm on the P500 list at GMT Games for it, but unfortunately I need about another 349 people for it to even be considered to be reprinted. So I'm desperately on the lookout for, if only I could just get the units page from the rules. Do you know what I mean? But you can't. Even when I've gone to the GMT website, they show you the actual units, but it doesn't tell you how many units of each type there are. So you can't work out how many blocks you need. So therefore, you can't work out how many figures you need for each. Anyway. So anyway, that's just something that I'm on the lookout for. It's expansion 1. It's the Greeks and Eastern Kingdoms expansion. So if anybody knows of anyone that's got any, or any place that's stocking it at the moment, just let me know, because I want to get that. Anyway, I digress there. I didn't mean to digress onto that, but anyway. So there's the Command and Colours Ancients and the Command and Colours Napoleonics, the things that I'm going to be focusing on probably for quite a number of years now, I reckon, because the flip side of all this is the next thing that I'm coming on to is the Panama project. Now, so that's something that I do quite a lot of. You don't see much of it, and you've not seen much of it, but basically the idea is that I've been looking for a simple rule system to use for the conflict. So if there's an engagement, you can use that particular rules, and Command and Colours fits in perfectly with that, as does DBA, but Command and Colours is even easier, simply because you can show under strength units. So the way in which the mechanics work for that is that, I'm not going to go into too in depth, but basically an army on the march gets a certain attrition level. So you may start off with 10 units in your army, but by the time you get to battle, you might only have 6 units in your army. And with Command and Colours, you can show that quite easily. That's why it fits in, and it's a simple, fast combat. I'll be able to use any rule system I want to with it, but the point is that that's the simple one. Anyway, that's the reason why I'm focused on Command and Colours. And it'll also give me a nice big spread of horse and musket armies for the horse and musket world, and a nice big spread of ancient armies for the ancient world. Not that in Panama they actually represent the units that the armies that they are in this world, but anyway, you'll know what I mean. And it's just one of the things that I do. It's imaginations, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's it. So I'll be doing more maps as well. I've got 2 weeks in March where I'm on jury service, so I presume I'll have lots of time to doodle in my doodling books. So I'll be doing some more mapping, and hopefully in the summer, because that's the time I usually do digital work. In the summer, I'll transpose a lot of these sketches into the digital format through Photoshop or Campaign Cartographer, and build more of the world. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing in 2018. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get a video out each week. Now, I said this before, but sometimes life gets in the way. But I've got my Fridays back, and I was speaking to Nick the other day, British Legion, and Owen, that's Mr. Super Chippy, and I sort of said, I've got Fridays back, so generally if I'm talking to them on a Friday, I'll get a video done, because I'll sit and talk to them, waffle onto them all day, and I'll have painted something by the end of it, because as you may have seen through the cover shot for this video, the cave is a right mess at the minute, so first thing on the agenda before I get back to work on Sunday is to completely clear the desk. So I've got a nice area to start off with next week on my first Friday of the new year, as it were, because this Friday doesn't count because I'm quite busy this Friday because I've got to go to the airport to drop somebody off for a flight, and I'm going to have a haircut, and I've got to do some shopping and all sorts, but that's the way it is. Anyway, so that's where I am. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks very much for your support in my absence, because I have noticed that a lot of people have still been commenting on the videos and subscribing, so cheers. And I hope that 2018 gives you something to watch. Alright, thanks very much, and a Happy New Year. Bye.